Welcome back, Three the Hallway, y'all. Tariq Rashad, Married Man Rob, Bachelors of Arts and Science over there up top.
Smart.
Nick Fan John, who says it wasn't a bad season. It was an overachieving season.
New York.
Either way, we're back here with some quotes. We're gonna start off with LeBron James going back into this Lakers situation. It's a funny conversation now. LeBron said that a 35-year-old LeBron James would dominate 27-year-old LeBron James.
So I think if you line 35-year-old LeBron up with 27-year-old LeBron, he'll dominate him. Just from a mental side.
27-year-old LeBron James, for you guys who don't know, I believe that was Miami Heat LeBron James.
That was the second year of Miami.
That was Miami Heat LeBron James, where he won his first championship.
Yeah.
And Rob, go ahead.
No, right. LeBron a funny character. So I did a little bit of research. I don't normally research for the show, but I did a little bit of research. LeBron at 27, it was his second year in Miami, his first championship. He averaged a little over 2 3-point shots a game and went to the free throw line and shot eight free throws a game, which lets me know that he wasn't settling for jump shots. That's number one. And now look at 35-year-old LeBron. 6 3-point, so 3 times as many 3-point shots and only 5 free throws per game. Listen, man, LeBron won a championship at 27. He down 3-2 at 35. As a Lakers fan, we need that 27-year-old LeBron James to come over here and give 45, 15, and 5 in a must-win game. We need that aggressive that I can take over a game at any point. Can't nobody stop me from getting to the basket. I don't see it. I don't believe when he says a 35-year-old LeBron is greater than a 27-year-old LeBron. I don't see it. Not physically, maybe mentally. On a basketball court, when it comes to mentality, nah.
I think LeBron understands the game a little bit more. I think he had a lot more help at 27 when it comes to managing the game and that was the first time that he was able to manage games in a way where they won it when it mattered most. Yeah, he'd won regular season games and 66 games in Cleveland, and they had great seasons in Miami, but that was when he mastered it. That was when he had the help. This LeBron James is controlling the whole game. That's when LeBron is at his best, when he's controlling the game. The only problem with that is I go back to what you said, Rob. 35-year-old Bron don't want to score the way 27-year-old Bron was. 35-year-old Bron, if his point guard at the time, Mario Chalmers, if his point guard was to give him 0 points, LeBron would have 35 to 40. Not no 19, not no 22, not no 9 from 19 from the field. And like you said, Rob, why? Because he'd have been driving to the cup with reckless abandon. DeAndre Ayton, 6 fouls. Dario Saric, 6 fouls. Cam Johnson, 6 fouls. Cameron Payne, 6 fouls. It wouldn't matter.
Damn.
I think LeBron is trying. Sometimes I feel like LeBron is trying to say the most candid thing he can. And he talks a lot. And because, going back into what we talked about with Naomi Osaka, because he's such a polarizing superstar, his words are always being framed and, memed up or taken to the masses for whatever they want to interpret them as. And for me, one of the masses, I feel like LeBron just be saying stuff sometimes. I remember when he said a few weeks ago that a guy literally dove at my leg when Solomon Hill dove at the loose ball that was on the ground that he was trying to get extra possession for his team.
You can see he gets it rolled up on, and it's not your atypical type of spraying, because it's like an inversion where normally spraying you turn it the other way. He turned it in.
Unfortunately, it did end up with LeBron being hurt with the ankle injury, but it wasn't nearly as bad or as intentional as, say, a Patrick Beverley running into Russell Westbrook.
You see the side swipe by Beverley right on the right knee,
which derailed essentially we're not gonna go that far, but that it messed up that playoff series. So I think LeBron is really tried to be candid. He said that that conversation that this quote was after a win. That's when it resurfaced to at least me. It was after the second win against Phoenix. So when you're up till it's stuck. And LeBron and them right now, they might be a little stuck in Phoenix.
I'm gonna have to disagree with both of you guys. I'm gonna say 35-year-old LeBron James would dominate 27-year-old LeBron James because 27-year-old LeBron James they have no jump shot. You can leave him. That's why he was going to the rim because he couldn't shoot the ball. He was hitting side of backboard bricks. They was leaving him open, and that's why. And initially, why he lost to teams like San Antonio, who was playing him for the drive, and then he was easier to game plan for when he played against a team like Dallas. Look, this LeBron James can actually shoot the three. He has way more skill level than he had before when he was at 27. He's more efficient as a mid-range jump shotter. He got some post moves. He can do the fadeaway jump shot, hit that consistently. Yes, he's not as aggressive as he would be, but if you give me a healthy 35-year-old LeBron and you played against that Dallas Mavericks team with the Dwayne Wade, are you kidding me? You think Flash is not winning MVP as LeBron playing point guard and have Mario spot up? You gotta be kidding me, guys.
You said something interesting. You said Flash would win MVP. 27-year-old LeBron James was MVP.
One MVP.
Yes, he did.
Facts, twice.
And not just of the finals. Talk about the regular season too.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, but that I think that just because LeBron James is playing, or he's going to be playing more point guard and facilitating, doesn't mean that he's not better than Flash. That just means that Flash is getting a touch. He's getting more touches. I feel like I said, if LeBron James would have conceded that first round, that first series, and play like he's playing now, 35-year-old LeBron James, the skill set that he has now, playing against that Maverick team, I'm sorry, Dirk. He's sending y'all.
I want to say if's a fifth with you right here, John, because if 27-year-old Bron was on this Laker team, him and AD would be more than enough for this Phoenix team because he would have dropped 45 when he seen Cam Johnson trying to guard him and had the audacity to muscle up. He would have put Jay Crowder in a blender because he wouldn't have been strong enough to even grab his shoulders when he finishes the and one. 30-year-old Bron went 40, damn near 10-10 in the playoffs in a loss. No. That was 39-year-old Bron. I was 29-year-old Bron. So he's close to the 29-year-old Bron. We talk about everything that he can do now. And I also would like to say that I feel like you're right. He's nowhere near as good a jump shooter at 27 as he is now. But he was a way better jump shooter at 27 than he was at 19, 20, 21 coming into the league. So I think this LeBron is I don't think 35-year-old Bron is the one that we say should play Michael Jordan one-on-one and see if he will win.
Stop it.
That's not the one that we say that about. It's more to me, 27-year-old Bron. Moving on to some more quotes. Charles Barkley, guaranteed. That's how he dance. I don't know what he be doing when he start moving. Anyway, he said that James Harden may be the best one-on-one scorer he's ever seen.
Because, man, James Harden, I tell you, he's the best one-on-one player I may have ever seen.
We did a scorer's title. We left KD off the list. Steph Curry edged James Harden out now with 3 the hallway tournament. How do you guys feel about this?
It's too much Alabama lima beans that Chuck be eating because this don't make no sense. He lost his bean. Like, you got other great players. Like, James Harden's a better player, a one-on-one player than Michael Jordan? Are you kidding me? You can't, like...
His response to that was the way that James Harden can orchestrate, the way how he's strong, he can get you on one side and play with you and toy with you. Not to say that Mike couldn't, but I'm just giving you an argument. Continue.
My argument is this. What separates James Harden from these other scorers like a Allen Iverson, like a Kobe Bryant, like a Kevin Durant, is that when it comes down to it, in these last final minutes, when the game counts the most and you need to get a bucket, they're not looking for a foul. They're getting a bucket. Whether that's going through you, going on the top of you, fading away, they're getting a bucket. You're not stopping them. And it's been too many times where I've seen James Harden be put in crucial situations where he is relied to score, and his foul technique or relying for a bucket at the free throw line cost him the game. Or his inefficiency or his inability to hit shots, cut shots down the stretch because of the fact that he's not getting the call that he wants. These guys is not, you're not stopping Michael Jordan, regardless of what you want to do. If he wants a bucket, he's going to get it. And especially in those last final moments where you're like, oh my God, you know the game is over before the game is over. I don't feel that way with James Harden. I don't feel scared of James Harden dribbling the ball down with 5 seconds left on the clock, and I'm like, the game's over.
Ain't nobody scared of you.
I don't feel that way. With KD, when I know he's going to do that 6'9" pull-up, I know his game. With Kobe, and he's doing that spin around fadeaway, I know his game. MJ, same thing. AI, same thing. I don't feel that sense that I get from those guys. And having the ball at the end of the game, and you even see it now when he's playing on Brooklyn. He's not the guy to close out the game. It's Kyrie and KD. He's not even the best scorer in that team when it comes out. Let me not go into that, but that's just my opinion.
I would say that James Harden plays in an era where it's theatrical. He's very theatrical. It's not a hands-on league like the guys that you named earlier, John, and that allows him to play for the foul. And for what it's worth, I definitely did vote James Harden over Steph Curry as a better scorer, simply because he has the size and ability to finish while getting the contact necessary for a foul to be called in today's league. He has the range to shoot from anywhere, and that's, to me, what makes what you say is Steph Curry having the best handle, and we had that argument a few episodes ago. I think it's because of the ability to be able to shoot from anywhere on the court that makes people so jumpy on their feet to give him that handle advantage. And I think James Harden has the same thing, but also if James Harden gets you on his side, you're done. He knows how to play your hands, where your hands are going, and create the contact and things of that nature. It makes it very theatrical. He's very poetic in the way that he scores. The reason why I don't think he's one of the better scorers.
That's championships. We know that. That's proven.
The reason why I don't think that he's a better scorer than those guys that you named earlier, the AIs, the Michael Jordans, the even going back to early LeBron days, he wasn't getting he can't get beat up the way that those guys were. Where you say he hunts for a foul, those guys actually had to go down there and get fouled, and sometimes even those weren't called. So Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, their ability to score while knowing true contact is coming. They played in an era where no one hunted for fouls other than a reach-in. Now, remember when that started, and that's where we are now. It started with you put your hand in a cookie jar and people just reach up and don't even really try to shoot the ball. They just want your hands in a cookie jar. And now we're at a James Harden situation where if I beat you on the dribble and you try to recover, I'm going to grab your body. And because you're not in a defensive position, I can grab your body, I can chicken wing your body, and it's still a foul on you. So it's more technique into how to score in basketball nowadays. It's a more technical game, and James Harden has completely mastered the technical abilities of it. Granted, to me, that disqualifies him from being one of the better scorers of all time, simply because he's not going through some of the things that those guys had to go through. You put Kobe or Michael Jordan in 2021 NBA situation with no hand checking and going straight up still doesn't mean that you played good defense. It's still a foul depending on where you go straight up from. They would average 40. So that's where I'm at with it.
Hey man, much as I like to disagree with John, I kind of got to agree with him in this situation. I feel like there are a multitude of other all-time great scorers, Devin Booker not included.
Top 5 talent.
Who, if you give them the quote-unquote one-on-one, I would trust them getting a basket as opposed to free throws over James Harden. I'm going to throw somebody else out there. Dirk, you give him the ball in the mid-post area, trust him over damn near anybody, honestly. Melo's another one like that. You give him the ball one-on-one, no help, clear out, ISO motion, shoot. You know what I mean? And to John's point of those players were willing to make the tough shots and get fouled, as opposed to I'm going to look for the foul and hopefully I get it and try to look like I made a shot. So it's really tough. And then anytime you talk about scorers and you don't mention Mamba, I just feel like that's kind of like, for Chuck, particularly someone who watched Kobe and Shaq in their primes, who played against Michael Jordan in his prime, for him to say that James Harden is the best one-on-one scorer, I'm going to have to pump the brakes on that one.
Yeah. And, you know, sometimes you can just get polarized in what you're watching. I think that was coming off of James Harden, the game where Kyrie wasn't doing anything, the first game in Boston. Kyrie wasn't doing anything. James Harden, Jason Tatum actually dropped 50. And for what it's worth, it was a majestical performance from Jason Tatum. But I definitely remember watching that game and James Harden having 21 points at some point. And the next time I paid attention to the guy say his name, he had 36. Ended that game with 41, I believe. But he can flip the switch in 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17, 20, really, really, really fast. In today's game, he's definitely a top scorer and an all-time peel the lens back type of perspective. I don't think he is. All right, y'all. Last quote on the night. KD to fans, and we've had a lot of fan situations over the beginning of the playoffs, first round of the playoffs, but his message basically was to grow up.
Grow the up.
And this was after Kyrie had a bottle thrown at him in their exit from Boston in Game 4, where he actually turned up. Someone threw a bottle at him, just to name some of the things that's happened so far. Trae Young was spit on. Russell Westbrook had popcorn thrown at him. Someone ran on the court during a game. It's been a little wild with the fans recently. They're just letting them back into the stadiums. What's our message to the fans that are paying hundreds of dollars to see these superstar athletes perform up close?
Grow the up.
I guess just be responsible, man. Like, and enjoy the game. Don't ruin it for everybody else. Like, I think when you do stuff like that, you take away from the game and what you there for. You're there to be a spectator. You're not supposed to be a part. Like, you're not on the court. You're not an athlete. Mm-hmm. And you have to also understand that these are players with families and lives as well. And if you was to see them on the street, it'd be a different situation. I feel like because fans know that athletes have handcuffs and it's like they can't respond, like they just take that for granted. And I think that the league, the way that the league is handling these situations now, giving these guys to the authorities if necessary, banning them from games, these are appropriate actions, but don't ruin it for everybody else. That's just my approach. Be a fan.
My advice to fans is, listen, it's entertainment. You don't go to the opera and if someone misses up a note, like, or you don't like that person for whatever reason, you don't throw a tomato up there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think it's a level of respect that you have for these performers and their craft and all the hard work that they put into it. And it's just like, you know, it's okay to jeer and like, you know, you want to make a sign or whatever, as long as it's not disrespectful or anything that, like, you know, you wouldn't be, you don't want your grandchildren to look back on you and say, Grandpa, Grandma, you really did that? Like, you kind of want them to look back and you be proud of you. And like, when you're doing things that someone younger than you won't look up to, I think that's not something that we should condone. I'm not a big fan of it, and I really hope that these sour apples don't ruin it for the entire tree.
Yeah, and when you say ruin it, I think worst case scenario, but probably not likely, they're gonna stop serving alcohol at these professional arenas, and for the money purposes, I doubt that would happen. But I kind of I look at it like I never understood how. And even going back to the lunchroom, to cafeteria back in junior high school and high school, when people used to throw food, like I never understood what was cool about that, to randomly hit somebody with something and then put your head down and act like you didn't do it. But in this scenario, I look at it from any profession. As a fan, especially at an NBA game, you literally have the abilities to say almost anything you want, barring it not being derogatory and racist and offensive in that sense. But you suck. F you, Trey was a chant given out by the whole New York Knicks fan club in the Garden.
Ice Trader gang. Trey Young. Ice Trader gang. With a miraculous shot. Ice Trader.
F you, refs suck. Fans get to say, they get to criticize. People are walking down the runway. Bradley Beal, you're trash. I'm trash. Like, you really get to do you get to say whatever you want. But in any profession, and you can't do that other places. If you go to Starbucks and your drink sucks, you can say it's bad, but it kind of stops at a point with how bad you say it is. But they're taking it a step further. And you're basically saying, if I'm at an amusement park and I didn't like the ride, I'm gonna beat up the ride operator.
I'm gonna whoop your ass.
If I'm at court and I didn't like the judgment and I didn't like the verdict, I'm gonna throw ice at the judge. Life. Take away the fact that people are handcuffed. These are the last people. Half of athletes, majority of athletes, their real job is weightlifting, strength and conditioning their bodies. So these are the last people you would actually be outside with and at a Starbucks or at an amusement park or at your car wash and say, yo, I didn't like the job you did. Here's some popcorn. Because they drag you around that car wash until you were clean. So I don't understand why anyone finds it okay to physically spit on someone. You wouldn't spit on a family member without expecting some repercussions. So to spit on or to hit someone with or to run down on someone when they're not expecting it, like running up on stage when someone's performing. We know what happens to those guys that run up on stage when someone's performing. So to do these things is kind of ludicrous to me, and it doesn't make sense. And I can't believe that that it's allowed, in the sense where sometimes I feel like they should treat them the way they do it at soccer games. Where you go ahead and run on the field if you want to. You're getting pummeled. You're getting treated like the way some of these cops do unarmed black people. And I wouldn't feel sorry for these fans, because you've crossed the line past a fan or an athlete. As a person to person, you're not gonna throw a bottle at me in person. At a 6'4", let's take Russell Westbrook, the smallest one, or Kyrie Irving, the smallest. You're not gonna throw a bottle at a 6'1" dude with a fro, muscles, and 210 pounds.
I'm gonna whoop your ass.
You're not gonna do it if you're out in the street. You're not gonna spit on him. You're not gonna do that. So let's be real. And I look at the guys that've done these things. They wouldn't stand a chance in a fist fight with some of these guys that they've attacked. Let's be real. Let's grow up. Let's be respectful and just think about it from that perspective. Would you really do that if it was just you and him outside? And I don't think they would. So that's my take on it. Relax, enjoy the game. You spend way too much money to be getting banned from this place. Yeah. But I think that is it for Three the Hallway this week, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Check us out on Buzzsprout, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are out there. iTunes. Check us out, Three the Hallway. It's been real.